on campus, maybe even people talking about it, would be really helpful, but having a meme, I would not consider like it being serious. I wouldn't wanna do it just because I would personally feel like unsafe about my information on there, or I just feel like, oh, it's a joke, I'm not really interested in the company kind of thing. But yeah, that's just from a growth perspective, especially because it's more difficult to like look at like what program you should get around and things like that. But yeah,
that's a good point too. I think. How about you? And then we'll jump back over there.
I think the meme idea can be implemented. I mean, you see a lot of students in this like focus group kind of setting, which is an individualized set of students from a certain market segment. It could be implemented, but I think it's the way of distribution. And I think that's also the really the key focus point that could save you a lot of money on marketing long term. Presently, you're college graduates, you're getting older with the ever-going and changing millennial-based generation and crazy different new memes and things that are always going on. It's hard to stay in touch unless you're spending a heck of a lot of money to really get your marketing out if you decide that the college market's really where you want to stay. Why not use a Time Warner Media Group kind of strategy of in doing ambassadors? So if you hired 5 Aggies from Davis, and you hired 5 independent contractors from CSUMB, and you have these 5 students in one campus and these 5 students in another campus, on average, Time Warner Group only pays those kind of students $150 every 2 weeks. It's only $300 a month because it's independent contractors, 100% legal. And they incentivize them with small-based gifts because they're college students. So they're very easily incentivized by small profit-based items like water bottles that have your logo on it, which is also brand recognition right there, or a $25 gift card to the movies, which to them, it's almost more valuable than a paycheck, but it costs you practically nothing. It's a way of really incentivizing those people for pennies on the dollar wages. Ethically, I'm not going to go down that avenue, but it's business, so ethics in that regard, it's legal. That you would see a much better market rollout because think of it like this. You have maybe an ambassador that's a senior at this campus, and they know that the senior class is looking, or a good amount of their friends are looking for things. You also want to target people with high social media accounts. 1,000+ followers is how Time Warner does it. And what they do is they pay that person every 2 weeks. On top of that, they need to do at least 6 social media posts on a variety of platforms about their business. That's where your meme would work flawlessly because it's not coming from Finret. It's coming from Joe Smo, who's a student who's 19, but you give Joe Smo creative ability to say, okay, Joe, you need to do a meme, but you can make the meme about whatever you want as long as it's not XXX, this, and then make sure Finret's incorporated somehow. Give them the creative marketing strategy, the creative marketing right, because they're going to do a much better job unless you're paying a multi-million-dollar advertising company. It's a great way to save money, and even Time Warner, HBO Group, AT&T now, who's a huge multinational corporation, they even implement this, and they've cut back marketing across the board.
Yeah.
This is, yeah.
You know, you're totally right. Actually, we are looking at doing that. We have like some ambassadors at Santa Clara University, and in fact, like you kind of beat me to the punch. If anybody here is interested in like a growth internship, we are trying to find people to help spread the word. It's a very like a self-directed, and you kind of touch all parts of the business internship. We have it going on in Santa Clara right now, and then at a local community college in San Mateo. And really, like as a student ambassador, you get to take charge in how the marketing happens around campus. I think one of my philosophies is that every place is different. So like the people who are there know much better than say Ideal on like what the best way is to outreach to students, like what kind of messages will resonate, what the needs and the timing is. So if you're interested in that, like please grab me after class. I'd love to talk to you more about a potential internship. And then I think there was one more comment over there.
Just simply put, I was going to say, like, to sum it all together on the memes aspect of it all. My whole thought process behind it is when I'm looking for an apartment, extremely stressed. And that's extremely stressed on top of finals, whatever else I got going on, personal life, school, etc. And I would want someone who is going to be, in my mind, the least stressful option possible. I want a professional quick, easy, which is exactly what Finret is on the website, and once I start getting into the process of it, but when I see the meme, that is not what my first go-to would be.
Right.
So, I would say, I don't know, when I would walk by and if I saw just a straight up poster that was kept simple, but was, as you mentioned earlier, I mean, you saw an ad saying like, here's this for sale, need help finding a roommate, etc. Just short, sweet, to the point, simple, doesn't cause me any stress, I would be inclined to go on that first and foremost.
Cool. Alright, so what I'm getting from this is maybe let's axe the meme thing and go for a more conventional marketing strategy. Cool. Alright, that's great feedback. I'm glad that I talked to you guys about it first before doing anything. Cool.
So, I'm thinking about a whole host of issues. How do I get this out in a quick and simple way? Why do I come to this site?
You come here to, before you start applying to apartments, you come here to get your package together and you collect all your information so that when you do go to apply to apartments, you have everything ready.
Okay, fair enough. The only thing is, I don't think that that's part of the search strategy that people are used to going through, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing I do is I start looking for apartments.
Right.
And so what I'm out looking for is a place to find a roommate, find an empty room, find an apartment, a house, whatever it may be. But I'm searching. If I accidentally land on this site, what I'm thinking is this site doesn't actually solve any problems I have until I get to the application process.
Mm.
Then it starts to solve problems for me. So that has led me to pondering a couple things, and you've probably thought about this a bunch. But one would be, what about marrying this service with a search site where I go to the site because I'm looking and there are apartments or houses or whatever listed on that site, and as a part of using that site, I can also register into that site, which sets me up to deal really easily with these apartments. There's one direction to go. And another direction to go would be that how I get to this site is I actually found an apartment that I want, and the landlord says to me, okay, here's how you apply. You go here, and it actually could either be to Finret's native site, or it even could be to a microsite of that property manager. So I don't even know I'm on Finret, but I actually am using Finret. You understand?
Yeah, like white labeling. Yeah, like white labeling the website.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I'm not sure that this site, I could be completely wrong. I haven't looked for a rental apartment for like 50 years. But I'm worried that people getting to this site is just not going to be solving a problem for them, because they're not going to be at the right stage of the...
Yeah, so we're trying to use like how colleges, when the students typically apply. So actually, maybe I can confirm this, but when I talked to the class earlier this morning, it sounds like people here typically look for apartments in the spring. Does that sound about right? Probably like what, like March, April? Yeah, see some heads nodding. So that's when, no, I see a head shaking.
No, I feel like I look for it in the summer or the winter. Like from the fall, if things didn't work out in the fall, then I look for it in the winter, and then or when I'm going for the next semester, I look for it in the summer. I never look for it in the spring.
Oh, interesting. So when you say winter, do you mean like December, January, February, winter break?
Like yeah, and then
Okay.
like summer would be like August, June, July.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing.
To add on that, I think really it's not something you can just pinpoint. It's campus specific. So look at the campus enrollment dates for housing, and also look at the closing dates, and see that's your definitive time of when you're going to have the best results. Building on Brad's idea, that's an area where you can maybe even do a sweetheart licensing deal with a website, like maybe Zillow, and you say, hey, I will cut you a beautiful deal that saves you money and incentivizes your customer and user base, because you don't need to know that you're on Finret. It's like Intuit and TurboTax. I would say that's going to be the most profitable and easiest way to really make the money. would be to use your company, just as Brad was saying, like a little miniature portion in each renting site, and broaden your horizons out that way through independent property management. That could be even probably, that'd be the easiest place to start because they're smaller. So maybe look in Monterey and seek out for individual big base property managements and say, hey, we'd like to give you a sweetheart licensing deal. We'll shave off this much. Think about how much you can save. Let's just do a 12-month introductory period. If you like it, let's do a 2-year term. Let's see how that goes. Then you're still waiting for patents in this time.
But they have a value proposition to those folks. They may not need to give them a sweetheart deal because they actually have a value proposition for the property managers.
I would.
But to tie it,
Yeah.
open issue, but something to think about.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea because like that'll get you directly to the consumer like at the time they're looking for like housing.
Right.
Right. Yeah. What was
I
your
was
idea?
just gonna say for like the time, I feel like a lot of students here are transfer students, like from community college. So I feel like a really popular time for people looking for housing would be like over the summer when they're gonna be living here in the fall semester.
So I'm trying. I have like a million notes here, and I'm trying to figure out where I wrote the ones about time in.
So I know like that's what, I live with Claire right here, and like we were looking like all summer trying to find somewhere for like when we moved here in the fall.
Oh yeah. That's interesting.
I think that'd also be a good time to market is finding out when like they do tours of campuses. That way you're getting like, I'm a transfer student as well, so like coming here the year before, it's finding those times and handing out like bags or different things like that, to carry my papers. That way other students are seeing like, what's the, I see that on my bag, it's kind of brand recognition as well. Figuring out the time.
Good idea.
I was also gonna say, I know like for this school, they have like the homeless otters with CSUMB, it's like a Facebook page. You can go on and try and like find places to live, so like if you can get on there, maybe like advertise your, I don't know, services like on pages like that.
Yeah.
They
If
can
you do that for me, I'll give you an Amazon gift card. No, I'm just kidding. Well, not really, actually. But yeah, no, you're totally right. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. Cool. So that was pretty much everything I had to cover. Thank you guys for the feedback. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any other questions, like or anything comes up later, please feel free to shoot me an email. I can just have Brad distribute it after class.
Yep.
It's Robert@finret.com. Really easy to remember.
I'll send out an email. There's some other stuff he wants to send out with it, so we'll send out an email to everybody with your contact information and that Google form.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. Really appreciate
Good,
it.
thank you. Well done. Also, while I think of it,